The purpose of this warm-up quiz is to get students working as soon as the tardy bell sounds. It also provides students with practice on previous math topics. This timer will count down for them to begin the quiz in class. The warm-up quiz answers are coming up next after all students have picked up their paper at my desk, where I have photographed each one. The following are the solutions to the previous school day's homework. Students will get 100 points if they show all work for all problems. Students will get extra points for any correct answers they obtain. All student work is photographed before they check their own paper. The following are extra credit answers for the assignment that was given as extra credit with the previous homework assignment. The objective today is to solve a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula and to determine the number of solutions of a quadratic equation before you even solve it by using the discriminant. Remember back when we first started quadratic equations that it is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That is the general form of a quadratic equation. Here is an example quadratic equation. X squared plus 10x plus 16 equals 0. The discriminant lets you know if there are any solutions to this equation, and if there are, how many. The discriminant is this. It is b squared minus 4ac. You will use that to come out with a number where if the solution to this is greater than 0, then you have two solutions for the problem. If the answer to the discriminant is equal to 0, you have one solution. If the answer to the discriminant is less than 0, then you have no solutions. So let's use this to figure out how many solutions there are to this quadratic equation. What is b in the quadratic equation? Not 10x, just 10. So 10 squared minus 4 times, what is a? 1. And what is c? 16. So simplify to get 100 minus 4 times 1 times 16 is 64. 100 minus 64 is 36. So this answer is positive. It's greater than 0, so how many solutions are there? 2. This one is x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals 0. You have to use b squared minus 4ac. What is b? 12. So 12 squared minus 4 times what? 1 times 36. Okay, so simplify to get 144 minus 144, which is 0. So how many solutions are there? There's 1. This one only has one solution because the answer to the discriminant is 0. Alright, here is another one, and this one is 2x squared minus 4x plus 15 equals 0. You have to use the discriminant to figure out how many solutions there are. What is b? Negative 4, and you have to square it. What is a? 2, and what is c? 15. So if we simplify, we get 16 minus 30 times 4 is going to be 120, and that comes out to be a negative 104. How many solutions are there? None. And if that's the case, you just write no solution. The following is an example problem. This problem is x squared plus 6x minus 27 equals 0. You're going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That is the quadratic formula, and yes, you have to memorize it. Once you know where a, b, and c are at, you have to go in and fill out the formula with the numbers that the variables are equal to. You have a negative b. So put negative parentheses. And what is b in the equation? So put in a 6. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. b is 6, so it's 6 squared. Minus 4 times a. a is what? 1. And c, negative 27. On the bottom, you have 2 times 1, because it's 2 times a. This is the most important part. From here on out, it's just simplifying. So we have a negative 6 here. You write down negative 6 plus or minus. 6 squared is 36. You have a minus sign and a negative in that multiplication. So that makes it a plus. And 4 times 1 times 27 is 108. On the bottom, you just have a 2. Simplify some more to get 36 plus 108 is 144. On the bottom, you still have a 2. The square root of 144 is a 12, so negative 6 plus or minus 12 over 2. Once you've dwindled it down to where you have something plus or minus something over something, simplify, then you have to do 2 problems. One is negative 6 plus 12 over 2, and the other one is negative 6 minus 12 over 2. one with plus, one with minus. So on the left-hand side, negative 6 plus 12 is 6, and that's over 2. On the right side, negative 6 minus 12 is negative 18. That's over 2. So 6 over 2 is 3, or negative 18 over 2 is negative 9. The following is a practice problem. Practice problem is 2x squared plus 8x minus 5 equals 0. On this problem, I will tell you that the answers come out to be decimals. And when you get decimals for an answer, you have to round it to the tenths place. For this practice problem, you should have a negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 5. All of that's going to be over 2 times 2. So negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus a negative is plus. 4 times 2 is 8 times 5 is 40. On the bottom, 2 times 2 is 4. Under the square root sign, that simplifies to 104. And 104 is not a perfect square. But you still have to do negative 8 plus square root of 104 over 4, and negative 8 minus the square root of 104 over 4. On the left-hand side, you should type in negative 8 plus the square root of 104 and hit enter or equals and get that answer and then divide by 4. If you round to the tenths place, you should get 0.5. On the right hand side, put in negative 8 minus the square root of 104 and hit enter. Get that answer but divide it by the 4 and come up with negative 4.5. This is a bonus problem for students who have completed their practice problem and still have time to do other work. The bonus answer can be found by doing 6x minus 3x equals 12 minus 3, which is 3x equals 9. That means x would have to equal 3. This is a bonus problem for students that are finished with their practice problem and have time to do extra work. For the bonus answer, negative 4 squared is negative 16. Times 2 is negative 32. Divided by 16 is negative 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 to the third power is a negative 27. Times 2 is a negative 54. So the answer is negative 56. The following is a practice problem. All students will be given enough time to complete their answer and bring it to the table. For this problem, you should have a negative 5 plus or minus the square root of the square of negative 5 minus 4 times 3 times 4. And all of that's going to be over 2 times 3. So simplify this to get a positive 5. Under the square root sign, it's going to be 5, or not 5, but 25. And then minus 12 times 4 is going to be 36. On the bottom, you have 6. Simplify under the square root sign to get a negative 11. Remember what happens when you get a negative discriminant. No solution. The following is a bonus problem for those who have completed the practice problem. Answer to the bonus problem is going to be 9 times 4 is 36, plus 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3, and then take away 3, you'll get 36. The purpose of the end of class quiz is to measure how well students learned the basic concepts of today's lesson. There are bonus problems for faster students and lottery options for all students. The end of class quiz answers are coming up next after all students have collected their paper from the table where I have photographed each one. The following homework assignment is due on the next school day. Students must show all work to get full credit, which is 100 points. Extra points are given for correct answers. Be sure to show all work on your homework. The following is an extra credit assignment. It is optional. Students wishing to earn extra points can try the assignment. They will get points based on correct answers.
Just sit here.
Show all the work on the extra credit if you choose to do it. Congratulations, you have found the YouTube bonus, which is worth 20 points. Try the problem, show all work, do it on a separate sheet of paper. It will be asked for when we bring up the homework and the other extra credit. Thank you for watching this video from my classroom. Homework assignments can also be obtained at my website, which is www.skinnermoney.com.